Hi guys, good morning. Back to the ArcoLinux University. This target audience is the ISO builders guys. So you learn in ArcoLinux how to use an operating system based on Linux, based on ArcoLinux. There are many things, challenges to overcome, and that's what's the university all about, right? Learn, and have fun during that learning period. At some point in time, you can say, I'm ready to build my own ISO. And on that particular subject, there is a lot to say, right? There's a guide in here, and you have lots of knowledge to get in your brain. And there is a lot of information already available. You have been preceded already by so many people. So create your own distribution. Arch on Linux as example. There is Hefter Linux. There are so many things, ideas, right? Because in the end, it's about a brain making decisions. I want to have BSPWM. I want to have Plasma. I want to have this. I want to have a wallpaper. I want to have this and that. It's all about choices in the end, right? If you after a few years of working on ArcoLinux, you get it. You'll see that it's just getting pieces of a puzzle and laying it out. And that's your distro then. So this is about distros. This is about building. So you learn about on so many websites. Now we're on ArcoLinux.com, so watch out where you are in the drop down, right? And in here, you'll find information also about ALCI, which is also basically the ArcoLinux Calamares installer. So this seems to kick people into drive if you only watch 38 videos. Well, more videos probably, but 38 articles. In here, it explains so many things like changing Linux LTS, and there's even a Xenmod kernel there. It is all choices, and that's what I want you to know and to convince you of. But you'll get there after a few years, and you'll realize, yeah, it's choosing this package over that package. That's it. Now, this contains also a lot of workflow things, and as you might have imagined, nobody explained anything to Eric Dubois. So how do we get this knowledge? You compare, and that's what I'm gonna, not sure where I'm gonna put the video that I'm gonna make now, but it's all about making use of the elements that we have already. Maybe somewhere down here, I don't know. It's all about comparing. There is a tool, the Calamares tool, on which you should subscribe. Very simple. That's basically where we need to go. So let me do an enter already. That's for later. And github.com/ArcoLinux. Calamares. You have to double it, right? You're a little bit drunk, you type it twice. And then you're where you need to be. This is the tool to get Linux on our hardware. Here's the article. Watch out the number of not watch, but this is the latest version. Read about it. Information is available here. And I just wanted to show, so latest information is up here. That there are so many things, right? ArcoLinux used it, but there is also KOS that's using it, KDE Neon, Garuda is using it, Archcraft is using it, Xerolinux, that's the one we're going to explain, and EverOS is using it. So well, and even more like Lubuntu and so on. All you need to do in the coming years to come to maintain your distro is type GitHub as a good one, Calamares. See what you get. You type GitLab, and anybody who shares their information, you can check out Reborn OS Labs. How does he create an ISO? with what tools, with what choices. And here we have Garuda Linux stable, package builds, and so on, and so on, and so on. You keep on scrolling. Don't stop at page 1, page 20, right? Scroll through it. See what's available already on the internet. And that's exactly what we're going to do now. I am, as you know, developing the ArcoLinux tweak tool, which used to be the ArcoLinux tweak tool. And this thing needs to bridge any ArcoLinux based system. If I want to remove out or start things, if you want to install a desktop, anywhere I'll be able to install DWM. If it's on DevOS or on Garuda or Manjaro, it does not matter to me. Right? It's the OS of your choosing, and you launch that app and you do your stuff with it. Now, that's why I'm making this video. Later on we'll have an virtual box system and we can try it out. Xerolinux is a spin-off from ALCI mainly, I think, right? I saw a reference somewhere that he said, Dark Zero said that mainly focused on that, but you can combine the knowledge that's also available with the Kali project. From the Kali Shell project. Now, he has a GitHub called Xerolinux Dev. Dev stands for development, for repositories, and he's going to make these things is the next ISO. Testing this out, testing that out. You need this. You need something to test out and stay away from the general population of your distro. And just play around, because we need that playground to learn. So here's the XeroIso dev. Control C. Yeah, we don't need this one anymore. So make an account on GitHub, sign in, and follow Calamares, if I had not said it. And this is the rest. So the Xerolinux distro home, the website, and you can contact him, etc., etc. But in here is the repository, tool, suite, a theme, line, etc., etc. And you scroll down, and what you're interested in is again the ISO. How does he build the ISOs? So it's all about comparing, and that's what I'm going to do here. This is the official ISO. It has been updated. You can follow this, learn from it. What has he done in June? He changed the number. Why? Because we all need to learn about ArcISO. Many videos about ArcISO included in all the websites. Making a choice from parallel downloads 1 to parallel download 3. We've taken 5. A new screen here. It's all about choices, right? So what you do, you get this on your machine. XeroIso, you want to have this on your machine. You click on this one, you go to, it's already there in my documents, but I'll use the desktop, and you do git clone, Ctrl Shift V. This is the official one, right? The other one was the dev version. And that's the fun. If you have two of them, and yes, you can compare ArcoLinux with Xerolinux and ALCI with Xero and Lubuntu with Xero and so on, right? See what are the differences. How do other people create an ISO? And sometimes it's just about the timing or the knowledge. People having the knowledge to program in Python and making modules in Calamares, because I love it. And others are focused on bash scripting. In the end, it doesn't matter. In the end, you need to have an operating system that suits your needs and hopefully many more of your users. That's it. That's why we're creating a distro, because we have another idea, another vision. This is how it should be. This is how it should look. It should have this and this and this available already. And that's just choices all the time. Okay, so that's one of them. And the other guy is up here, ISO dev, the official Xerolinux dev ISO build environment. Same applies. You can take it here, you can take it up here. It's the same URL. You go to the desktop and you git clone that one as well. The fun about git cloning is that I can, in a month's time, tell him, look guy, get me the new code that has changed in the meantime over a month, and it'll get in. It will pull the new code in. And then I'll check. I say, okay, what changed? Open with git head. And you can do exactly the same thing on ALCI, on Carly, on ArcoLinux. It's all shared with you. Then you read. It's all about reading. If you don't like reading, don't start. Right? Best thing is don't start. But a number, ArcIso, image version, fine. ArcIso is now here. Base development and the bind, so they renamed bind tools to bind. Grumble ZSH config is gone, so it does not conflict with that. ZSH, Linux headers is added, and so on. Decisions, Lego pieces. What piece will I put on the ISO? What do I need for Calamares? What do I need for me? What drivers do I want on my system? So it's all about these choices, a long list, and you make your own decisions along the way. So a new repository, I guess, or changes in the repository, adding the repository for NVIDIA. And it is rather technical, but over time, right, over time, it will become less and less and less and less and less technical. So the message of the video is very clearly: learn with your eyes, go to the internet, download stuff, compare stuff, and here we are. Compare stuff. What changed? A wallpaper. What changed? Settings of KDE, and this is what we've been discussing. Dark Zero is a member on our Discord channel of Xerolinux, a spin-off from, and we discuss things. What do you think about that? What do you think of that? Okay. We do not give consultancy. There is no consultancy. We put people with their nose in the right direction and let them make their own decisions. I'm not gonna make decisions for you. So elements that changed are these. Future things. So the left guy is the old one, and the other one, the right one, is the development one, which means if all is well, right, dev goes to the left. And this, by analyzing all the structures, these ArcIso application that you need to know, and all the ArcIso root file system with the packages that are here, the pacman.conf that's here, parallel downloads, remember, it was hashtagged out, or it's in here, sorry, and it's not in here, hashtag, so meaning not used. And that's how you compare things. So here the name is KDE Beta, or Beta, no, in Dutch Beta, all differences, right? And we have a build script, and that's what I'm gonna do. Video being 14 minutes. So any of our ArcoLinux ISOs and Carly ISOs and ALC ISOs, you can build them right now. If other distros provide it, in my case, I would like to test the ArcoLinux tweak tool, right, on the new guy, on the beta version, because it contains something I've asked for. It contains a new SDM. So voila, it's all about learning by comparison, basically. All of these things are out, and this is it. So the time is 15 minutes. So that was an intro for anybody thinking of going over to the next level, creation of your own ISO. But then the idea to have really not just building ArcoLinux B, Plasma for example, but really starting with the grub, a nice image, and so on, making all the decisions, and a new Calamares, etc. So everything is explained. I let you compare. What we're gonna do for the video is the build script. So open it up and see the elements. You see here the ArcoLinux version, etc. So things that we use as text, of course you don't use them again. So you give it other names. You give the variables another name. It's not XFC that we're gonna put on this machine, on this ISO, but it's gonna be Plasma. It's not gonna be the ArcoLinux building folder, but gonna be the Xero dev build, etc, etc, etc. Right? The script is there. It's up to you to start to learn how to do all these things, how to change all these things. And now we start building or rebuilding in my case, meaning I keep off from my cache. Probably that's still the same thing, but we compare again. Here we're going to clean the cache, SCC, and here we're not. Voilà. For the rest, it's just some changes, name changes up here. And we're building. Looks a bit strange. 3 times each. It's probably the download speed here. That's all. And if you compare with all this knowledge shared online, you can do your own thing. Now, this is a trick you need to know. Bin is something I have, ArcoLinux has. It's something that Xerolinux has. It's something that EndeavorOS has. I've been building Garudas and EndeavorOS as well, right? You can build anything. So rebuild again. I just arrow up, enter. Done. Arrow up, enter is the tip here, because of the fact that we have a package that's the same. Mine is signed and his, I believe, is not. So Pacman says, oh, wait, watch out, and everything halts. So it deletes the package and we download it again by restarting the var cache, right? The var cache is the repository, the cache where all the packages are. So if you download something, it's going to be in there. All the versions that it's got, they're all in there, but also with a sign file. So if that's invalid or corrupt, Pacman always says, do you want to delete it? It's a capital yes, so it has been deleted. And then we arrow up, do it again, and it gets can we see that? It gets downloaded again with the proper references, let's say. Must have missed it somewhere. But it's downloaded again. Somewhere in this list. Bin, was it? Bin is in here. Go look for it, right? Yay bin is coming from Xero Linux repo. It's an important AOR helper. So yes, we both got it. My repo, his repo, and everything clashes. And arrow up and done. Now go down. He's installing his building. It has its own folder to build somewhere. Xero dev build. That's your future system. This is your future system. And later on, an ISO will pop out in the Xero dev out. And I've built one, I guess, yesterday. But the recording was not up to specs. No, 2 days ago. Voila. So this one will be replaced with the one that we're building now. This is resource. How do you say that in English? It uses up a lot of resources. It's like 100% CPU. You do not run these things on an old machine that's going to die, because probably it will die, right? You need to have a good, powerful system. And I'm using all the cores. I'm telling to him, use whatever core that you got, and it's gonna go 100% all up. Heating, of course it's gonna get warm. It's working 100%. So I type sensors, and I can keep track of things. 8 cores. Will it go up? Sure. You may hear a fan kick in. As long as it does not go up too much, right? Then you're just fine. I think I'm gonna cut the video here. Then we have material to put on the websites to teach again how to learn to build an ISO. That's by comparing how does somebody else do it. Use melt, workflow matters, and test things out. And the only advice I can give you is do one thing at a time. Change one thing at a time. So you'll be building a lot of ISOs. I've been building thousands of ISOs these last 5 years. It's what we do. All right. Next is installing the new beta version. And then next is ArcoLinux V2. Test it out. All right. Cheers.